CBS 2 News, this is Breaking News.
Good afternoon. This is Don Daly with CBS 2 News. We'll get you right back to the game, but first, this breaking news. These are live images from Reggie Harrison in Chopper 2 HD of the site of a construction crane collapse on the east side of Manhattan, which caused massive damage to multiple buildings and at least 4 deaths. We have 4 confirmed deaths. We are being advised that number is likely to rise. The collapse happened at 51st Street at 2nd Avenue. Eyewitnesses described a large crane, perhaps as high as 24 stories, on the top of a building being constructed. It was lifting a large block of concrete when it fell over onto the other buildings, part of it crushing a brownstone. Reggie Harrison is over the site right now. Reggie, how many buildings do you think are involved in this?
Well, Don, right now we're looking at it looks to be about at least three buildings. You can see the one in the center of your screen, this very tall building right here. Part of the crane still leaning on the top of it, and as you can see, it just took out the whole side of it. But as I pull down here, you can see there's at least two other buildings. I'm sorry, the helicopter's blocking some of that shot right now as we reposition a little bit. But there's at least 2 other buildings and some cars below that have been damaged from this crane falling down.
Reggie, there's a looks like a building that's being constructed to the right of your screen there. Is part of the crane perhaps on top of that? If we're looking closer there.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like it was right on top here, Don, and the base of the crane was on top of here. Looks like it toppled over. I'm just going from my experience as a former accident investigator. It looks like the top fell down, crashed into it, and then the base of it fell to the base of that building under construction. You can see it right there.
Considerable amount of damage. Now, this is the Turtle Bay area of Manhattan, fairly close to the United Nations, correct?
That's correct.
All right. I can only imagine how much rescue activity you're actually seeing. Firemen going in and out. We're getting reports that there are still people trapped in the rubble of some of these buildings.
Yeah, what I'm looking here is I can see some of the firemen going in and out of this rubble, looking for people. Now, they've called it a 4-alarm, not as much for the fire, but to get as much personnel on scene as they can get over here. You have emergency service, police department, as well as the fire department, all searching for people in these buildings.
Witnesses on the scene describes hearing something like an earthquake and then the earth literally moving as this came crashing down. One gentleman was trapped inside a restaurant trying to get out. People helped him climb out. We have eyewitness reports of firemen climbing through the rubble to get inside the buildings. And whenever anything like this happens, people immediately liken it to 9/11. This, of course, is a much, much smaller scale than that. But devastating to these buildings, to the lives of these people in there. And this being a weekend, you can only imagine that there had to have been some people home in those buildings at the time. Once again, to reiterate, there has been a crane collapse on the east side of Manhattan, 51st Street, 2nd Avenue. We have reports of 4 deaths and many injuries. No count on injuries yet, but we have reports of many people being put into ambulances. We will continue following the story. We have team coverage on the site right now. You can, of course, get consistent, constant updates on our website, WCBSTV.com, and stay with CBS 2 News. We'll be following this all day, and we'll give you the latest. I'm Don Daly reporting live in the newsroom. We now return you to your game.